Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. County Commission Session. Please rise for the pledge and prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for prayer. Please join me in prayer. Lord Father, thank you for letting us come together, do the business. Let us bless each and every one here today. Let us do the business. Bless over us. Give us wisdom. Go forth. Bless our farmers. Bless our school children who are out. Bless our public safety officers. Keep them safe. Lord, we ask all these things. All in Hey. Okay, what would you? All right. Are there any special announcements or recognition? None. Okay. Approval of previous meeting minutes. I'll second that motion. All in favor? Aye. Approved. Okay, Department Business and Reports, Plan Commission. Like Diane. I was gonna say, you don't look like Diane.
No, she's a lot better looking than I am, thank goodness. I'm coming before you. We have a property at 4648 West 250 South in West Middleton that is dilapidated and in my opinion needs to be demolished. So I'm coming forward to ask that we set the public hearing for that. That has to be at least 30 days after the 21st to allow everyone plenty of time to get notices to everyone. So I'm asking that we set that meeting date for December the 2nd at your first commissioners meeting in December. That'll give us time. The railroad owns that property. That'll give us time to notify them and some other interested parties.
Okay.
That's all I need from you today is just that I'm asking you to set the meeting for December the 2nd.
Okay, so we can set that meeting for December 2nd.
Yes.
2024, and that will be a public hearing for the property located at 4648 West 250 South.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. In favor? Aye.
All right, thank you.
Set. Thank you, Greg. New business. We have a meeting schedule. The 2025 Howard County Board of Commissioners meeting schedule. We have a copy in our packet. Questions or comments? Second that, all in favor? Aye. Okay. That schedule is approved. In addition to that, we have Howard County holiday schedule. Oh. Any questions or comments on the holiday schedule? Approved. Motion. Monday, October 13th. Columbus Day. Why is it not listed? All right.
It's considered indigenous now.
And politically.
Well, I love that.
I'd like to see it listed as Columbus. So if we could make that correct. Ray, do you have a?
That's fine.
So with that correction, we should approve that.
Schedule.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Holiday schedule. is approved. Okay, moving on. Claims and reports.
I'm gonna have 3 salary.
Wait a minute, we have one more new business.
Oh, yep, we do. I forgot
Almost
already.
forgot.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sherry
Good
Matlock.
afternoon. I'm Sherry Matlock. I'm the manager of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, which we call the CVB. And thank you for allowing me to have some time just to share some information with you regarding an economic impact study that we recently conducted, looking at the tourism and travel industry here in Howard County. So it won't take up much of your time, but I'd like to share some information with you that we kind of some of the key findings and results out of that study. So every month there are key indicators and metrics that we look at to see how our tourism industry is doing. Is it growing? Are we strong? Things like hotel occupancy, our average daily room rates, innkeepers tax collections, those things tell us if the market is growing, if we are plateaued, and so forth. So every 3 to 4 years, we take time to do an economic impact study. And this is something that we had planned to do this year in our budget. It was a budgeted line item. And we looked at 2023. And then just for comparison, the last study period that we compared our results to was 2019. That was the last time we did an economic impact study. So the CVB hired Surtech Inc., which is a well-known research firm that does tourism studies. They're located in Kentucky. We've worked with them for over 20 years. They've done visitor impact studies. They've done economic impact studies for us and for many CVBs throughout the state and the Midwest. We worked with them to look at 2023 to tell us what are some of the key results, key findings that came out of visitor travel in our community. So they looked at both business surveys that were conducted at our tourism businesses, so places like hotels, meeting facilities, attractions, museums, some of our venues like Kokomo Speedway, Championship Park, Kokomo Municipal Stadium, those types of places that we see visitor travel or traffic at, even some retail shops, Black Wax Cafe, Popcorn Cafe, Kokomo Toys. There are certain niche businesses in our community that see high levels of visitor traffic. So they conducted a business survey that was completely confidential to these businesses to collect data from 2023. So using that data along with a visitor survey that they used, they came on site this summer and conducted some visitor surveys on site in our community. The response rate that we received from the business survey was about 75%, so it was very strong. That was up from the last time we had done a visitor survey. And then the visitor surveys conducted on site were at various locations in the community. And like I said, the last study period was in 2019. So a couple key findings from the report that I will share with you before we talk about numbers. So in the 2023 report, they state, tourism is a large growing business in Howard County. The importance of overnight visitors to tourism spending is substantial. Now, when we talk about visitors, there are different types of visitors. A day trip visitor, which is just a person who's here for the day. Overnight visitors obviously stay overnight in a hotel or an Airbnb. There are also pass-through travelers that pass through our area, stop to get gas, eat, but they're not necessarily, this is not their destination. So the importance of overnight visitors is very key because overnight visitors have the most spending when they're in the community. It also showed that the continued growth of the lodging sector is a key to a healthy tourism industry in Kokomo. And we just actually had 3 hotels open this year. We had Home 2 Suites, Fairfield Inn and Suites, and the former Signature Inn property that's located next to Olive Garden and Lowe's, that is now a Bliss Point Inn. So we have had 3 new hotel properties open this year. So they show that the continued growth of the lodging sector in our community is a key to continuing our healthy growth. It also showed that our continued growth of local attractions has boosted some of the visitor spending levels that we will talk about. And specifically, that's talking about the addition of Championship Park in our community. That opened in 2021, so that was not open for the last study period of 2019. So the continued growth of adding attractions and assets in our community increases visitor travel in our community and also the spending that they have. So just like Championship Park, when we look down the road, a facility and an asset like the Kokomo Conference Center that just broke ground, when we look 3 to 4, 5 years down the road, that will be an asset and a continued growth of attraction that will boost travel into our community and visitor spending. So I do want to get to some of the results of some of the key findings. Now, one of the key indicators in the economic impact study is visitor spending. This is notated by the blue bar on this chart. Visitor spending is that money that's spent directly by visitors in our community, Kokomo and Howard County. Typical purchases include lodging, could be hotel or Airbnb, food and beverage, gas, admission fees, souvenirs, entertainment, and shopping. So the things that visitors are spending their money on. You can see that I did a 3-year comparison. These were the last 3 study periods. So in 2016, our direct visitor spending by the visitor was $97 million. Then in 2019, it grew to $107 million. And then looking at last year, 2023, it grew significantly to $180 million. In fact, it was a little over, if you round up, it's $181 million. So the visitor spending is that direct money the visitors are spending in our community, which is fantastic. But visitor spending creates a ripple-like effect in the community and for the local economy. So total economic impact is the green bar. That includes visitor spending plus a multiplier effect. So when you look at what was the total impact of the local economy from that visitor spend, it is significant. So in 2016, that economic impact was $135 million. It grew the next study period to $149 million, and then significant growth was seen last year. 2023, economic impact from that visitor spending, $252 million. So we were very pleased to see the growth. It wasn't unexpected. With new hotels, new attractions, increased visitor travel that we are seeing. We knew there'd be some growth, but we were pleasantly surprised by the significant growth that we saw. So just a quick story. So total economic impact, kind of a story on what that might look like. So let's say a business traveler is in Kokomo and Howard County for a week doing business here, could be at Stellantis or one of our local industries. If they're staying at a local hotel, that money that they spend at that hotel is that direct visitor spending. It's that money into the hotel. Then the hotel might use that money and pay wages. So they might pay wages to an employee. That employee then takes that money and buys local goods, maybe goes to the grocery store, buys a car. They use that money in Howard County, and that economic impact just trickles down into the local economy. So visitor spending is significantly higher. We wanted to share that with you, and it really impacts all aspects of our economy. Jobs, it impacts local taxes. It really has a trickle down into the economy. So I shared the results with you in a study that was sent via email, but this just shows kind of a chart of how much growth we have seen. So thank you for your time today to let me share these results with you.
Very one question for you.
Yes.
For 2024, the battery, expect to see higher response. Would you matter?
Absolutely. So our visitor travel, when we look at just last year to this year, talking about those indicators like hotel occupancy and keepers tax collections, we have seen increases. So we don't do this large of a research study every year. If we were to do a research study for looking at 2024, we would see growth because we're seeing growth in the small indicators. We've seen more people in the community because of business travel, construction, and sports also. So yes, absolutely, we would see growth. If we continue down the path, we would do this study in about 3 to 4 years. So in that time period, we hope to continue to see growth through our industries and then also things in our community like sports and meetings through the conference center.
Very good news.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other new business? Okay. Then we are ready for claims and reports, salary claims.
I have 3. October 4th, $1,117,671.60. October 11th, $52,153.23. And October 18th, $1,089,589.54.
As presented.
I will second those. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those are approved. Okay, payroll expense.
October 4th, $1,117,671.60. October 11th, $57,375. October 18th, $1,089,589.54.
Motion to approve as presented.
I will second that. All in favor? Those are approved. Operating claims,
$2,605,936.30.
Motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Do we have claims to ratify?
None.
About monthly reports.
I have Weights and Measures monthly report ending, or start date September 16th, 2024 through October 15th, 2024.
We'll mark that as received. Any grants?
None.
Mr. Wilson?
Nothing today.
Okay. Mr. Bray?
No, sir. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sheeline, thank you for getting that house out there in West Middleton on the agenda. That needs to be taken care of. Public comments. Hearing none, seeing none. That brings us to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. We stand in adjournment.